evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, I'm there. You're audible.
Okay. So, what we saw in our last class?
We installed Eclipse and we started to create a package and class. We
Okay.
have to check the what is public static void and the zero.
Okay. And then we also saw about what is JVM, JRE, and JDK,
Yes,
and
yes.
JIT.
Yeah.
Okay. So, now let's move into the concept. Okay. So, the first and basic concept in Java is data types and variable. So, do you have any idea like what is data type and what is variable? Not only you, I'm just asking common. Like, does anyone have idea what is data type and what is variable?
Yes, we have many data types
Okay,
like the string, character, int, float, double. Mm,
okay,
and variable is a kind of container to store something inside that variable, like declaring an initializer.
okay. Why we need data type?
Uh, if it is alphabet means then the computer needs to know whether it's alphabet or number. So if we are storing something alphabet means that means a word kind of thing means we have to store inside character string. And if it is a single letter means we have to mention char. Or if it is a number means we have to mention int. Or if we are using some decimal points means we can use float. And there are some kind of bytes storage kind of things also there.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. So data type is nothing but it defines the type of data. I mean, what type of data they're going to store? Either decimal numbers or whole numbers or single characters or a collection of letters. Collection of letters is called a string words or whether a boolean. Boolean is nothing but a true or false value. So it just decides the type of data which we are going to store. So according to the type of data, it allocates the some memory. It allocates some space. So each and every data type has a particular bytes. So according to that, a space is allocated. So if we see the data type means it is classified into two types like a primitive data type and a non-primitive data type. Is my screen visible, guys?
Is somebody.
Okay. So we have two types of data types like a primitive and a non-primitive. So primitive data type is nothing but you can store only small values like it includes boolean, character, byte, short, int, long, float, and double. So these are called as primitive data type, and non-primitive data type is nothing but it includes arrays, classes, etc. So we will see about classes and arrays. Okay. I will just give you a short explanation about the array and the remaining data type. For example, I think if I want to store only one value, for example, if I want to store a particular name, means then I can use a string or something. Okay. If I want to store only one character letter, means then I can use character. In that, I can able to store only one value. But array in the sense we can store many values inside that. For example, think there is a big box and then inside this box I can store many values. So inside the big box I can store many balls. For example, I can either store a red ball or green color ball or a blue ball, black ball, etc. So the color doesn't matter, but the object, I mean the ball matters. So whenever we see in a JavaScript in array, we can store both the names and numbers and the decimal numbers etc. in a single array. But in Java, we need to store only same data type value. For example, if I am planning to store the names of a student means then I have to create a data type as a string because string is nothing but collection of letters. So words. So if I want to store something which has a collection of letters, then I have to use a data type called a string. So inside that, I can able to store only the names of a student. I cannot able to store the age of a student, or I cannot able to include a marks of a student. It is strictly prohibited in Java. But in front end, I mean in JavaScript, we can store the different data types. Okay, so the reason behind this, in Java, while declaring, we will mention the data type. For example, we will mention the data type is string, the data type is integer, the data type is float, etc. We will be mentioning the data type in Java, so that according to the data type, the memory will be allocated in Java, so that only we can be able to store only the particular data type in a array. So array is nothing but a collection of values with the same data type. So this all comes under the non-primitive data type. So this was the list of the primitive data types like boolean, byte, character, short, integer, long, float, and double. So this is what I'm giving, primitive and non-primitive. So under non-primitive, I was saying array, etc. But in JavaScript, a string is also considered as a primitive. But in Java, string is considered as a non-primitive. Don't get confused, guys. Okay. So in under primitive, we have two classification called Boolean and numeric. So Boolean is nothing but true or false value. For example, whether it is a red ball or not. So if the color is red, then we will say yes. If not, then we are going to say answer no. So it includes only two options, true or false. I mean yes or no. So all that categories or comes under this Boolean. So under the numeric, we have two types like character and then integral. So under character, we have only one data type like char. So char means we can be able to store only a single letter. For example, if I want to store my initial, then I have to use my initial. So for that purpose, I need to use the data type called char. Or if I want to store any particular letter, then I can use this char. So under integral, I have two types called integer and floating point. So integer means it's just a whole number like 29, 40, 144, 1 lakh, 3 lakh, etc. It doesn't include any decimal numbers in integer part. But in floating point, a decimal number is included. So under floating point, we have float and double. So in non-primitive type, we have a string, array, classes, etc. Okay, so now we will see what is the default size of this data type and what is the range, what is the value range. For example, Boolean means it has only two values, either false or true. So if we didn't allot any value means by default, it will take a false as a value. If we allot any value, if we are just writing Boolean age equal to true means, then it will take a value as a true. But if we didn't allot any value, we are just declaring the data type and the variable. We are not assigning any value means, then it will take a default value. So the default value is false for Boolean. So the size for Boolean is 1 bit. So whenever we create a data type, a 1 bit of memory space is allocated for this. So it has only two values, true or false. So character, the default value for character is this, and then the size is 2 byte. It doesn't have any value range. So now next we will move into the byte. So byte means the default value is 0. We are going to store some numbers. As we are going to store some numbers, the default value is 0. If we didn't assign any value, then it will automatically takes a value as 0. The default size for byte is 1 byte. So if I want to store my value between minus 128 to plus 127, then I have to use my data type as byte. Okay. Think if I want to store the overall mark of a 10th class student. So the overall marks will be around 450 or something. So if I am planning to store the number 450 in my Java means, then at the time I cannot use this byte because the value range is minus 128 to plus 127. But my number 450 is very larger than this 127. So I cannot store this number. For that purpose, I need to use some other data type. So based on the number which I'm going to store, accordingly, I need to choose the data type. So if I want to choose the, if I'm going to choose the number in between minus 32,000 to plus 32,000, then I have to use my short data type. So as yeah, it is also a number, the default type is the default value is 0, and then the size is 2 byte. So integer means we can store some extra large numbers, and then the long means some big numbers. So float and double means it include decimal numbers. So for float, you need to mention as a F, and then for double, you need to mention as a D. So the size is 4 byte and then 8 byte. So here also the size matters. If you want to store small values, then we can use a float. Or if I want to store some large numbers, then I can use double. Okay. So think that if I want to, so mostly we will prefer integer only, because if I want to store an age, then my age is around 45. Think that my age is around 45 means, then I can use integer also, because 45 is also included in this number. I mean, it is also included in this number range. So it don't create any problem. I should not use the number, or I should not use any data type which can't store any larger values. So I have to choose my data type accordingly. Okay, guys, did you understand? It's like the double is a very big box, and then float is a small box, and then this is for decimal numbers. So if I take for normal integers, this long is a very big box. So this integer is a box inside the long, and then short is a small box which can be fixed inside this integer box, and then byte is a very small box which can be fixed inside this short. So this is the order. Okay, guys, did you understand this?
Yes, Sandra.
Okay, what about remaining? Why today most of the people were silent? Is there any reason? Guys, did you understand the class, or do you want me to come again?
Understood.
Okay,
Understood.
okay,
Yeah, understood.
okay. So this is called data type. I mean, it just tells the what the type of data we are going to store, either the number or decimal number or words or character, etc. So that is called a data type. And then variable. So variable is nothing but it is just a container to store the data. So if we have data means definitely we need some box, or we need some container to hold the data. For example, if we go to kitchen, then mom will be using some sugar box to hold the sugar. So the sugar is a type of like a data type, and then the box is called a container. So here the box is called a variable. So inside that variable only we are going to store the data. The same inside that the sugar box only our mom is going to store the sugar. So sugar is a data type data, and then that box is a variable. I mean, actually, we can say that a variable is a labeled box. So it have a name. I mean, sorry, it has a label, and then we can create a name also. For identification purposes, we will be creating a name for our variable. So by creating a name, we can call that variable wherever we want. So it is assigned with the data type, and then it is just the name of the memory location. I mean where it is stored, and then it is just the name only. So there are three types of variables: local variable, instance variable, and static variable. I will just give you a basic introduction about this, and then we will see about this in our upcoming class. Because to understand it, we need some basic understanding about Java, so that we can see about these variables types. Okay. Now we will see just a basic example. Once again, guys. Now we will just see a basic understanding of local variable, instance variable, and static variable. Okay. Um, so a local variable is nothing but it can be created inside the method. Just to remember only this line. Okay, just understand the line number one only. So local variable means it is created inside the method or inside the block only. But instance variable means we are just creating the variable inside the class but outside the method. Local means inside the method. Instance means inside the class but outside the method. Static means also we are just creating an variable inside the class, and we are going to use that variable throughout our program, throughout our class. Okay, so this is enough for now, and I will show you an example. Okay, whenever we see example, we can able to understand this easily. So later I will come again and I will explain you this theory part. Okay, so here I'm just creating a some. Okay, I'm just creating a new project. Okay, I'm going to create a Java project, and then my project name is. So what is the condition to name a project name? I will just write whether, tell me whether it's right or wrong.
Wrong.
Okay, then how I have to name my project name?
Small letter.
Okay, small letter. Then whether
Uh,
it's right or wrong.
no, wrong.
Special character should not be allowed.
Okay. Now,
It's okay
now
now.
it's okay. So a special character is not allowed, but I can give an underscore. So I'm just getting a project name as Java 8 p.m. Or when we started our class, I think April 15, right? Okay. Week days. I think it will create a okay, Java 8 p.m. is enough. Okay. 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 Now a project is created. Okay. So inside this project, I need to create a package. So just open your SRC and then do a right click and then just create a package. So here my package name is 8 p.m. So I can name it as a data type. So I'm just going to show an example about data types. So I'm just naming it as a data type and variable. Single name is enough data type, and then I'm just clicking finish button. So a package is created. Inside this package, I need to create a class. Okay. Now my class name is same data type and variable. So I can name it as a data type example. Okay. I need to create it as a public static void main. I will explain you this later. What is public static void main? Okay. So I need to create uh as a public static void main. So I'm just clicking this checkbox and then I need my modifiers as public. Okay. I'm just giving finish button. Now a class is created. So here my package name is data type and then my class name is data type example. I have clicked that I need a main method. So as I click the main method, a main method is created. So this is the method which is created inside this class. So this is the class. When I click this is the class. Here the bracket in line number 3, the bracket is starting and then it's just ending in line number 10. So inside this class only, I am having just a main method. So main method is nothing but it is just the starting point or it is just a key to open to run our Java program. Whenever we give a run, what will happen means our Java will just search for a main method. Okay, where the main method is. If the main method is there, it will start to execute our program from the main method. So it is just the just starting point to run our program. So the variable which I am declaring inside this method. So this is a main method. So the variable which I am declaring inside a method is called a local variable. So if I am declaring a variable here, first we will see how to declare a variable. Okay. For example, now I'm just going to store a age. So I'm just using a data type as byte. Okay. Byte. And then my variable is nothing but name. I need to name my variable so that only I can able to understand. Okay, here I am just going to store the age of a person or age of an animal, something. So naming a data type is very important. Naming a variable is very important. And then while naming, your name should be matched with the data you are storing. For example, think that I am storing a integer as a age, but I'm just giving the name as a name is there is no connection, right? This is a number, but I'm just giving a name as a name. So what will happen if someone sees our code or whenever we do our company project, if we name like that means if our colleagues or if our juniors see this project means they will get confused. Okay, they are just naming it as a name, but inside that they are just storing a data as a number. Whether it belongs to the name or belongs to the number, they will get confused. So while naming, you have to be very careful. You need to name accordingly to the data which you are storing. And then while naming, don't use a single letter. For example, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, etc. Don't use any single letter. Okay. While using single letter means the people may get confused. Okay, what they are just trying to say, they are just giving a single letter or single character. Then what does it represent? Whether it represents a age or whether it represents a mark, etc. They may get confused. So just use a proper name. Okay. So if I want to print this, then I need to use a print statement. So if I want to get output means then I have to use a print statement. So here the print statement is system dot out dot println. So I am just typing sys out and then I'm just pressing control plus space. Once again. So I'm just this is a shortcut. Okay, you need to type. You can type system dot out dot println. You can type that also, but the shortcut is sys out and then you need to give control plus space. If you give me it just print it just show me a line system dot out dot println. This is the statement to print our output. So what are all things which I am giving inside this is going to print. So the things which I want to print or which I want to show the output has to be given inside this bracket. For example, now I want to print my answer 45. So if I want to print this value means I can call the name. I no need to call a data. I can call a name of the variable. So here the name of the variable is age. So this is a data type. Byte is a data type and then age is a name. And then equal to means we are just assigning a value. Like it means assigning operator. We will see about that. And then 45 means I am just giving. I am just assigning this 45 to a variable called age, which is of data type byte. This is the meaning. Okay. So if I want to print this number as 45, then I need to give my name of a variable here. Now if I run this, so just give us run as Java application. So in console, I'm just getting my output as 45. So whatever I'm just giving inside this print statement is going to print. Okay. So this is a simple example to print a age using byte. Okay. So now I will write a program. You guys have to tell whether it's a right or wrong. Okay. Okay. Whether it's right or wrong.
It's wrong. We should put int
Okay.
instead of
Why we have
byte.
to? Okay. What is the reason?
Because byte can hold from minus 127 to plus 128. It
Yeah,
is great.
exactly. Okay. So what you told is right. So if I have given my data type as a byte, but I am just storing the value 450, but which is impossible. So the byte is a small box. Inside this, I can able to store only 127 balls, but I am just trying to store 450 balls, which is impossible. So only it's just showing me an error. What is just asking? Change the type of marks. Marks is my data type. I mean that name. It's just asking me to change it to integer. So if we change to integer, we can store this value. It is the hint which is giving. So if I'm just changing this, now it is changed into a integer. Now if I print this, I mean if I run this, it will just going to show me as 450. Okay. So double means I need to use decimal numbers. For example, double salary equal to something 45,000.90 D. As this is double, I need to use a D at last. Now I want to print this. So I'm just printing my variable name here. So it's just showing me an output. I mean, it just removed the last zero. It don't have meaning, right? Whether 90 is also same as 9. So it just removed the zero and it showed me an output. Okay. So if I want to print a name, so If I want to print something as string means, then definitely I have to give a double quotes here. So wherever you are seeing the double quotes, it means it is a string or it is a collection of letters. For string, we need to use a double quotes. So I'm just giving data type as a string and the name as a name equal to Soundarya. I mean, I'm assigning a value Soundarya equal to string and then the name of your data type is name. Now I am just going to print this. So if I print a name, it just show me an output as Soundarya. So for numbers, we no need to use double quote, but for a string, we need to use double quotes. Okay. So in print statement, one more thing. So suppose in print statement, I am just giving like this. I have not declared any variable here. I will just remove this. Okay, let it be here. Okay, in print statement, I am just giving a double quotes and then inside this double quotes, I am just writing something as name. So what will happen means when I run this, it will just show me an output as a name. So if we don't call any variable name and if we are just giving something in double quotes inside our print statement means it will just print this name as such. If we don't give double quotes means it will just print the name of the variable. If we are giving the double quotes means then what will happen? The name or the thing which I have given inside the print statement is going to print exactly as such. For example, in system.in print statement, I'm just giving answer as 45. So it's just going to show me an output as 45. If we have a variable name, then we can call a variable name. Or I don't have any variable name. I'm just going to print the name as such, or I'm just going to print the value as such means then you can directly use the print statement and inside this you can give the value. So for string means we need to use double quote. For integer or for a boolean, we no need to use a double quote. We can give the value as such, and in the output it will be shown. Sorry guys, and then in the output it will shown as such. Okay. So boolean, boolean is nothing but it just give only two answers like a true or false. So mm, I'm just giving a color. So what will happen? I'm just assigning a value true equal to uh, value true to my variable color, and then I'm just asking it to print that variable. Now what will happen? The variable name is color. So inside this color, I have a value called true. So whenever I print this, it's just going to show me an answer true. Okay. Guys, did you understand? This is what a data type and a variable. Guys, did you understand how we have to create a data type and then how we have to name and how we have to assign a value and then how we have to see an output? Did you understand this concept?
Yes,
Yeah.
Sandra.
Yes.
Okay, super. Okay, now this is a basic concept. Okay, this concept plays a major role in our project because all our project is directly based on this data type and then variable name. So be strong in this. Okay. Now we have completed this data type and variable. Variable we have this static, local, and instance variable. I will explain you this later. Okay, I won't forget this. I will explain you this later. Okay. Now we will move into the next small topic like operations. Okay. So operation is nothing but just we are just performing some actions on variable and values. For example, if I want to add two numbers, or if I want to subtract two numbers, or if I want to multiply, or if I want to do comparison, means then I can use a operations, operators. Okay. It is performed on the variable and values. So the operation is of six types. One more is also there, like a ternary, but ternary we won't use often. Okay. So we have arithmetic, assignment, relational, logical, unary, bitwise, and ternary operator. Mostly we will prefer arithmetic, assignment, relational, logical, and then ternary. Ternary is also a rare case. Okay, both bitwise and unary is completely we won't use anywhere. Mostly we won't use that anywhere. You guys just have to know the basic concept of unary and bitwise. Okay, so under arithmetic operations, I have five types like add, subtraction, multiplication, and division and modulo. So if I want to add two numbers, then I have to use a addition operation. If I want to subtract two numbers, then subtraction, multiplication for multiplying the two numbers, and then division is for divide. We are just do the division, right? So if while we are doing division, if I want to get my output in quotient, for example, 5 divided by 4 means I will get some answer as quotient, right? So if I want my answer in quotient, then I have to use a division operator. Or if I want to get my output in a reminder, I just want only the reminder means then I have to use a modulo operator. So modulo means the symbol is percentage. For remaining, the symbol is as such. Addition means plus, subtraction means minus, everything same. Only for modulo, we will be using this percentage symbol. So division means it will just give a quotient, and then a modulo means it will just give a reminder. Okay, now we will see an example for this. So now data type is completed. So I'm just going to create a one more package. So a project is nothing but a collection of package. In a single project, I can create n number of packages. So Java 8pm is my project. Inside this, I have one package called data type, and again I'm going to create a one more package. So again, just click the SRC and then right click, just create a new package. So here I'm just going to see about the operations. So I'm just naming my package as operations. Finish. And then inside these operations, first I'm going to see about arithmetic operation. So inside this package, I need to create a class. And in the name of the class is arithmetic operation. Okay. So I'm just clicking, I need a main method. So I'm just checking this box. So a main method will be create. And then I'm just giving a finish button. Then the class called arithmetic is created inside my package called operations. Okay. Now we are just going to do the arithmetic operations. We are just going to add, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulo of two numbers. Okay. So to perform these operations, I need two variable. Okay. So first I need to type a data type. So if I type a data type means based on this only a memory will be allocated. So I'm just typing my data type as an integer so that a particular memory will be allotted for this. Okay. Now I need to name. So to name my variable, I'm just giving it as a number 1. And I am assigning a value equal to 45. The same, I'm just adding one more a number called number 2. The name of this variable is called number 2. So this the number 2 is called the name of the variable. Here I'm just going to store 5. Okay. So now I'm going to add just these two numbers. We can do in two ways. Okay. So here I'm just creating one more a variable called a number. So inside this number, I'm just going to add number 1 plus number 2. So if I do this, the both numbers, number 1 and number 2 will be added, but it won't show me an output because I have not given any print statement. So if I give one print statement means only, it will just show me an output. I have not given any print statement here, so it won't print me an output or it won't show me an output. So to show an output, I am just writing the print statement system.out.println, and then inside this, I am just calling this variable name as number. So because that is the variable name, where number 1 and number 2 are added and stored in this variable here. Number 1 45 and number 2 5. Both the values are added and stored inside a variable called number. So 45 plus 5 is equal to 50. This 50 is storing in the value, storing in the variable called number. So whenever I print this number, it will just show me an output as 50. Okay, either you can do like this or you can also directly write here. So inside the print statement itself, you can write number 1 plus number 2. So absolutely it's going to show me an 45 plus 5 is equal to 50. So it's your convenient. Based on your convenient, you can use any one of the methods. Okay. So this is for addition. Now I need to subtract this. So number 1 for subtraction minus symbol. Number 1 minus number 2. I'm just writing in the print statement itself. So what will happen? 45 minus 5 is equal to 40. Multiplication. Number 1 star number 2. Division number 1 divided by number 2. Okay. So what will happen? 45 into 5, it will just give me some answer like 225. And then division means it will just give me a reminder. Sorry, quotient, right? So number 1 is 45. When I divide 45 with the 5, my quotient will be a 9 because 9 5s are 45. So my quotient will be a 9. So it's just giving me a quotient value as a 9. Now if I want my remainder, then I have to use a modulo operator. So number 1, modulo operator is a percentage. Number 2. So what will happen is it will just take a remainder. Okay, whenever I divide 45 by 5, my remainder will be 0 because 5 nines are 45. I won't get a remainder. My remainder will be a 0. So here I get my answer as a 0. Okay, guys, did you understand this? It's a basic.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. So the normal calculation we will be using. So modulo means whenever we need a remainder, we will be using this operator. Whenever we need a quotient, then we have to use a division operator. Now we will move to the next operator. Okay. So here the next operator is assignment operator. Okay. Assignment operation is nothing but we are just assigning some value. For example, if we go to a marriage function means definitely our sister marriage or our brother marriage means they will assign some value. Like you take care of food, you take care of this, you take care of money. They will assign some value. I mean, they are giving that work to us. They are assigning that value to us. The same thing here we have to use a equal to. That means we are assigning some value to a variable using a assignment operator. The assignment operator is equal to. So basically, indirectly, we are using here. What happened? I have just given my variable name as a number one, and then I'm giving a equal to. So this equal to is nothing but the assigning operator. And then I'm giving a 45. So what happening here? The number 45 is assigned. So we have to read from right to left, not from left to right. Okay, for assigning operator, we need to read from right to left. So what it means the number 45 is assigned to a variable called number one, which is of data type integer. Guys, did you understand this? The line. The number 45 is assigned to a variable called number one, which is of data type integer. So indirectly, we are using assigning operator here. We are just assigning some values. It is called a assigning operator. Okay, so assigning operator is completed. Now next we have addition assignment operator, subtraction assignment operator, multiplication, division and a modulo. So it is also same as a normal arithmetic operator, but in front side we have just using a assignment operator in this. So the difference is, so this is the syntax. Syntax is nothing but the rule, how we have to write. Okay. So the syntax for this assignment, addition assignment operator or subtraction assignment operator is, first we need to give you, I mean, we are just assigning some value to a variable, right? So I am just assigning a value 45 to a variable. So this is a normal assigning operator. Later, I am just adding that same variable again. For example, I have a one variable called a. Inside a, I have a value called 5. So using assignment operator, I am just assigning a value 5 equal to a. I mean a equal to 5 to that variable. Later, I am just adding the value 5. Again, I am just adding the same variable a with that a. I'm just doing a plus a. So a plus a means what will happen? We are assigning a value 5 means 5, a equal to 5. Again, we are just adding a 5. So 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. What we are doing? A equal to a plus a. So what will happen? 2 times the number a is added. So for that purpose, we will use this addition assignment operator. So the syntax for this variable equal to variable plus value. We will see an example for this. Okay. So for this again, I'm just going to create a class because operations is my overall package name. Inside that I have one class called arithmetic and then I can create a n number of class. So inside operation, I'm just going to create a one more class called assignment. Assignment operation. Okay. So first we are going to see then assigning a value. So assigning a value is nothing but just we are assigning a value to a variable. So string name is equal to Besant. So I'm just assigning the value as it is string. I'm using a double quotes here. So the value Besant is assigned to a variable called name, which is of a data type string. And then I'm just using a one more variable called age. So integer age equal to 89. Okay. So think that if someone is asking you to add add some value to this 89. How will you add? For example, I'm just asking you to add number 5 to this 89 means what will you do? First, you need some variable to store that. Okay. So you will be creating some variable called a final. Okay. So inside this final, what will happen? You are just going to, I mean, final is a preserved keyword. We should not use that. We can use something fin. Okay. So someone is asking you to add number 5 with this age, with this value 89. So if we are just adding two numbers, means definitely we need some container to store that. So I'm just creating a variable, one more variable called fin equal to age plus 5. So what will happen? Whenever I print this fin, what will happen here? My age value is 89 plus 5. So what will happen? 89 plus 5 is equal to 94. So my value will be a 94. So here I'm just creating a one more third variable. Okay. So here this can also be done as okay. First we will see this. Okay. So it will just show me an output 89 plus 5 is equal to 94. Now once again guys. Okay. Sorry guys. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is so I will explain you this. I have just commented this. I will explain you what is comment. Okay. Here, what I have given, I have just created a one more third variable, I mean second variable called final, and then inside this final, I'm just calling this variable age, and then I just asking you to add the number 5. So what we are doing, we are just creating a one more variable, and then we are just adding two variable, and then we are just calling this a final variable. Then what will happen? 89 plus 5 is equal to 94. Here one more step is involving. I'm just creating a separate variable. So definitely it will also take some memory. So instead of this, instead of writing this line, I can write this like this. So what will happen? Age plus equal to 5. So it means age plus equal to 5 means age equal to age plus 5. So this is the meaning. Age equal to age plus 5. I'm just using the same variable as age. So inside that age, I have already have a value called 89. Inside that, I'm just adding a number plus 5. So what will happen? This 89 equal to, this age equal to 89 plus 5 is equal to 94. So instead of writing this as elaborately, I'm just using addition assignment operator. Plus equal to. So this plus equal to can be elaborately written as age equal to age plus 5. So instead of this line, I am just writing age plus equal to 5. So what will happen? In my age variable, already a value for 89 is stored, and then I am just adding a 5 to it, and then I'm just asking it to add and assign a total value. So 89 plus 5 is equal to 94. Whenever I print this variable name as age here, it will show me an output 94. Okay, guys, did you understand this? So instead of writing this elaborately, age equal to age plus 5, I am just writing this as age plus equal to 5. This is what I am writing. Okay, guys, did you understand this?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So this is for addition. So if I want to subtract means I need to use a subtraction assignment operator. So instead of plus, I need to use a minus. So what will happen? Here my age value is 89. So it represents age equal to age minus 5. So value of age equal to 89. So 89 equal to, age equal to 89 minus 5. So 89 minus 5 is equal to 84. Whenever I print this, it will just show me an output 84. But we are just writing it in a shortcut. Instead of writing elaborately, we are just using this subtraction assignment operator. So it will just show me an 80. Okay. It will just show me an output as 89. 84, right? Because the value of my age is 89. So 89 minus 5 is equal to 84. But why is showing an output 89 instead of 84? Is there any reason?
Because age equal to 89. That's why.
Okay, what I'm asking is their age equal to 89. Okay. So here what I'm giving, I'm just asking you to subtract 5 from 89. That is what I'm given, right? Age equal to age minus 5. So here age equal to 89 minus 5. So 89 minus 5 will be 84. Then my output should be 84, right? So instead of my,
Because
yeah,
in line number 13, it's already declared 89, it's changed to 94, right?
yeah,
So if
exactly.
again 94 is minus 5, it is 89.
Exactly, all right. So what happened means in line number 9, I have given age equal to 89 and then I have done some addition operation. So what will happen? 89 plus 5 is equal to 94. Now what will happen? My variable has a value 94. Now think that earlier my box has a 89 balls. Later I have added 5 balls into that. Now what will be my value? 94. Now in my box I have 94 balls. So now the value is changed into a 94 according to line number 14. According to the line number 14, my value is changed into as a 94. So now when I remove 5 from that box, what will happen? 94 minus 5. It will just take the previous value. The previous value is 94 according to this concept. So here what will happen is 94 minus 5. So 94 minus 5 is equal to 89. So it's just showing me an output as 89. So think that if I skip to this line, so if I skip to this line means what will be my output? My output will be absolutely 84 because I have 89 balls in a box. So inside that I am just taking 5 balls from that. So 89 minus 5 is equal to 84. Now it will be 84. As I have used the addition operator before, so a ball is added. Later, the added ball was removed. So the value changed. Okay. Guys, did you understand this? It will always take the previous value. I mean, the value which is stored previously, it will take only that value, not the initial value which we have given. Okay. Guys, did you understand this?
Yes.
Okay. So this is addition and subtraction. Now we are just going to see about the multiplication. So multiplication means age equal to age into 5. So age equal to 89. So 89 into 5 will be our output. Is that right, or what I have told is wrong?
Wrong.
Okay. Then how it will be?
84 into.
Yeah. Yeah. I have told it as the 89, but in my previous line, my value is 84. So here it will consider it as a 84 into 5. 84 into 5 will be 420. So it will just show me a 420. So now my age has a value of 420. It will remember only the previous value. Now it will have a value of 420. Now inside this, I'm just going to do a division assignment operator. So division means division symbol. So what will happen? 420 divided by 5. It will just give me a quotient. So 420 divided by 5 means 84. Now to get the remainder, I'm just going to use a modulo operator. So instead of this, I'm just using a modulo operator. So what will happen? 420, this 80. Now what will happen? What will be my answer here? In line number 25, what will be my answer? Here, here my value is 84 because 420 divided by 5 is equal to 84 will be my quotient. So here my value is 84. I am just doing a modulo operator. So what will happen whenever I do a modulo operator? It will just give me a remainder. So what will happen? 84 divided by 5 means it won't divide properly. I mean, we have some remainder. My remainder is 4. So it's just going to give me an output 4. Guys, did you understand this? I mean, previously the value of a is equal to 84 because 420 divided by 5 is equal to 84. So here it is stored as a 84 modulus of 5. So whenever I use a modulus operator, I'm just going to get an output as a remainder. I'm just going to get a remainder as a output. So whenever I divide 84 by 5 means it will just give my output as a 4 as a remainder. So only it's just giving me an output 4 as a remainder. Okay, guys, did you understand this?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys. So this is what assignment operator. In tomorrow's class, we'll see about remaining operator, logical, and then relational, ternary, unary operator. Okay, we will see about this in our next class. Guys, if you have any doubt, just ask me, or we can wind up our session. Guys, you have any doubts?
No.
Okay. Okay, guys. Then take care. Have a good sleep. Thank you.
Yeah.